With the latest release of Jurassic World Rebirth, there are now 7 Jurassic Park movies to go through. So in this video, I want to revisit all of them, and we're going to find out if there are any Jurassic Park sequels that actually should have been made. Are there any that actually deserve to exist? That's the question for today, and we're going to do this in a tier list. On my list, I have 5 tiers. My bottom tier I am calling Dino Droppings. This is just the worst that the series can get. You can also call this F tier. My second to the bottom is called Going Extinct, because with a film that goes in this tier, it is leading the franchise to going extinct. My middle tier is called Just Another Island. So this represents an okay movie, but nothing special. It's just another island. Second to the top, I am calling Blue tier, a reference to the raptor named Blue. This represents a cool movie, but not the best. This can be called B tier. And my top tier is just called Jurassic Park. It's reserved for one movie only, and this is the peak of the series. You can also call this A tier. So now that you actually understand my 5 tiers, let's get into my tier list. Let's go back in time to 1993 for the original Jurassic Park. There's a good reason that the original Jurassic Park is so iconic, and why it started a film series that's still going today. It's a Spielberg blockbuster classic, and a wonderfully well-rounded film. Obviously the dinosaurs are really cool, the visuals were revolutionary, and they still hold up very well. The horror and suspense scenes are perfectly crafted. The framing and timing of each dinosaur attack is so masterfully done that it makes a lot of scenes so memorable. It's not just cool dinosaurs, which of course it is. It's unforgettable, suspenseful scenes that are shot and edited flawlessly. Jurassic Park will always be a visually impressive film, thanks to Spielberg's direction. Not just because of the special effects, but because of the lighting, the color schemes, and the environments. It all looks so good, and the park came to life on screen. But you can't have a great movie with only cool action and visuals. You need to have good characters. Alan and Ellie do have a good dynamic, and they are good enough to make us care when they get in danger. And then Alan being forced to take care of the kids is a great storyline. The kids are pretty annoying though. I think they could have been done a little better. Everyone's favorite character is Ian Malcolm, for good reason. Jeff Goldblum is so fun in the role, and his dialogue is very entertaining. The character writing in Jurassic Park is simple, but good enough to make us invested in their journeys. Now, to top it all off, to make this a truly special film, there's the central theme of messing with nature. John Hammond and his scientists brought the dinosaurs back from the dead because they could, without thinking about whether they should. Hammond was foolish to think that messing with nature like this wouldn't have any consequences. He tried to play God, but of course, it ended in disaster. With that theme to make this film just a bit thought-provoking, there's honestly nothing more you could ask from the original Jurassic Park. It is an all-around excellent film, with great suspenseful direction, good characters, interesting themes, and of course, the incredible John Williams score. There's no wonder that this movie is still so loved. Jurassic Park is the one and only Jurassic Park. It's obviously top tier in this list. In 1997, 4 years later, we got The Lost World Jurassic Park. I'll give this film credit where it deserves it. The Lost World is not a conventional sequel at all. It doesn't try to do the exact same thing as the original, and it doesn't even bring the whole cast back. A sequel where the fan-favorite side character becomes the lead is very different. That sounds alright, but Ian Malcolm as the lead didn't turn out very good. Unlike the first movie, there's really no reason to care about the characters in this film. Yes, Jeff Goldblum is still good, and Julianne Moore is fun, but this movie quickly shifts away from focusing on character development early on. It relies much more on the dino action than before. And to be fair, it's still very good. Spielberg returned as director, so obviously these scenes are still competently made. The action is exciting and scary, you feel the threat, but it doesn't work as well because of the weak characters. I also really hate the plot with the InGen organization trying to use the dinosaurs for profit again. It's really dumb and doesn't make sense. It just overcomplicates an otherwise simple story of surviving dinosaurs on the island. However, it did provide us with an awesome sequence. Essentially a T-Rex version of the King Kong story. The whole ending with the T-Rex in San Diego is fantastic. Seeing it tear its way through the modern human world is epic, and something we never got before. But other than this scene, the film is very mediocre. All around, The Lost World is really just another island. Another 4 years later, in 2001, we got Jurassic Park III. This movie has such a small scale and simple story compared to the others, and it feels completely unimportant. It's a short movie with no new twists or ideas. It's just another dinosaur movie. It's so simple and underwhelming that when the iconic theme music plays, it feels unearned, like there's no scene in the film that deserves music that good. But in some ways, the simple plot is beneficial. I like that there's no corrupt human organization for once. The focus is only on escaping the dinosaurs. But that also means that there's no moral dilemma to explore, which was a key part of the original. It's a straightforward monster movie with dinosaurs, but honestly, the action isn't as good in this. Joe Johnston directed this one, and he's a good filmmaker, but none of the set pieces are super memorable here. This is the first film without Ian Malcolm, but now we have Alan Grant back. I think it's fine to split up the cast after the original, but the follow-ups for both of these characters were disappointing. Alan is pretty boring in this one, and the surrounding cast is the worst. We have yet another kid in danger for the third film in a row. Tim and Lex in the first, Kelly in the second, and Eric Kirby here. To me, this is an unnecessary tradition in the Jurassic series. I don't know why we need kids in every movie. The Kirby parents are awful characters as well. They trick Alan into coming with them to the island without telling him that their son is trapped there, and they constantly make the dumbest decisions possible. There's no human villains in this film, but the Kirbys cause just as much trouble, and I find it to be annoying writing. This film is pretty pointless overall. With Jurassic Park III, the series seems to be going extinct. It took 14 more years to get back to this universe, but in 2015, we got Jurassic World. This is really just an average legacy sequel that repackages everything from the original film in slightly different ways. There's nothing too new about the story at all, but I like how the film is a bit self-aware about that. In a way, it's a commentary about always trying to make the next story bigger and better. The Indominus Rex being a scarier, improved version of the T-Rex is like a metaphor for this film existing in the first place. It's a redo of something from the past while also trying to be bigger and more exciting. This movie finally has the park open to the public, which never happened before. Of course, these people were stupid enough to open the park to the world, even after everything in the old trilogy. With crowds of people in the park in danger, the stakes become higher than ever before, which makes for some very good, chaotic action. There are some well-made suspenseful scenes in here, not on the level of Jurassic Park, but good enough, and the action is over the top and epic. Chris Pratt riding a motorcycle alongside raptors will never not be cool, and the final fight of the T-Rex and raptors against the Indominus Rex is mindless awesomeness. This is a very good 2010s reboot of the Jurassic films. It's so much more stupid, and that just makes it more fun. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard play some one-dimensional characters, but they both make it entertaining. Pratt's character Owen is such a serious, stoic adventure man with none of the depth of the classic characters, but it works for this movie. And once again, there's more kids in danger. But to me, these two boys are the best kids in the series. They're not annoying or helpless, they're actually enjoyable. So Jurassic World is not a well-written, complete film like the classic, but it's definitely the best sequel so far. It's just action-packed, mindless dinosaur fun, and I think it's a legacy sequel done right. Jurassic World is going in blue tier. In 2018, we got the sequel to the reboot sequel, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The opening sequence of the island being destroyed by the volcano eruption is a fantastic scene in my opinion. It is a memorable action scene and a phenomenal start to this film. And I do think Fallen Kingdom is gripping and interesting the whole way through, even though its story is by far the dumbest one yet. This film has some horrendously stupid ideas that I was entertained by. Now we have another greedy organization breeding new dinosaur cross species to sell in their auction. The writing for these greedy villains is so over the top and ridiculous. I always found human villains in this franchise to be kinda unneeded. All the big companies trying to make profit off the dinosaurs has never really worked since Hammond in the original film, because at least he realized his dream of selling the dinosaur experience wasn't possible. And now in Fallen Kingdom, it's just all the more absurd. Add to this auction story another questionable plotline about this girl Maisie being a clone of her mother. The direction that this film went in was such an odd turn, where it's trying to be some kind of complicated mystery drama, but that doesn't quite work. In the end, they even try to create some kind of sympathy for the dinosaurs, when the only options are to set them loose in the world or let them die. We've seen time and time again why the dinosaurs can't coexist with people, and yet this ending shows them being let out into the world because we can't let them go extinct again. This moral conflict is just not believable in the slightest, sorry to say. The writing in this movie is actually baffling, but it's a ton of fun during the watch. It's one where I'd completely understand if someone hates this film, but I personally had fun with it. And last note, Owen and Claire are completely replaceable characters in this. Like, they barely matter. So overall, Fallen Kingdom is not the worst, but it's not good. It's just another island. 4 years later, in 2022, we got Jurassic World Dominion. We already have another Jurassic film after this one, but let's not forget how Dominion was marketed as the epic conclusion to the Jurassic saga. They really made us think that this was the culmination of the series and the ending for the foreseeable future, but that didn't last long. Probably because this film was garbage. After the setup from Fallen Kingdom of the dinosaurs living in the outside world, this movie isn't even about that. We don't get a single good scene of the dinos wrecking up the humans' world like we saw in Lost World, and that is incredibly disappointing. There's really no memorable action in this whole movie. So instead of following up the previous movie's story, we get a horrible shoved-in plot about giant locusts eating crops. And that is the plot that gets a nonsense resolution that has something to do with the clone girl Maisie. The movie doesn't bother to explain it well, and I don't think anyone watching cared anyway, because that has nothing to do with the dinosaurs in the wild. Dominion is one of the best examples of a lazy, pointless legacy sequel that does nothing to appeal to fans, except bring old actors back. Guess what? The Jurassic Park stars are back, and they meet the Jurassic World stars. Alan Grant, Ellie, and Ian Malcolm meet Owen and Claire, and heck, I have to admit, it's kinda cool to see all these actors together, because it's satisfying to see a series come together like this. But it's a cheap thrill that doesn't last long, because there's no effort in character writing. There's a reliance on nostalgia for Jurassic Park to make this movie exciting, and it doesn't work because none of our characters do anything interesting. All these faces are just there with nothing to do. This is a cash grab and nothing more. And this Jurassic World trilogy is made to look a lot worse because of this awful conclusion. Jurassic World Dominion is just dino droppings. It's awful. And now we have Jurassic World Rebirth. This movie is not a complete reinvention of the series. It still has a lot of the same old dumb tropes that we've seen in almost every entry. We have the greedy businessman who values the money over anyone else's life, and of course he is predictably and satisfyingly killed off before the end. There's also another plot of using the dinosaur blood to cure diseases, which is only used as an excuse to get the characters in danger again, nothing more than that. And as always, you can predict from the very beginning the exact characters you think will live or die. It's so obvious from the start, and I don't think any Jurassic movie will ever subvert those expectations. That's just how these movies work. Rebirth is no different. And this formula still works too, because it's rewarding to see the greedy characters die and the good guys survive. That still makes for a fun time. But with all this predictability, I still had a blast with this movie. I liked how it addressed the issue with this series, which is that the dinosaurs are no longer interesting in a world where they've been back for 32 years. That's the main reason that no sequel can recapture the magic of the original. But this one did its best. I like how there was a ton of time spent with these characters before they got to the island. Not all of the character setup works, but I enjoyed the main trio of actors, especially Mahershala Ali as Duncan. And there was also a great use of this family who was never meant to be in this type of danger. I cared about all of these characters far more than I did for any in the previous trilogy. I actually cared about all of them surviving. And I don't know if it's just me, but I found the action here to be some of the best in the entire franchise. The scenes on the water were thrilling, the attacks on the boat made the early parts feel fresh in this franchise, and all the monsters on the island were frightening. Gareth Edwards was a great new director for this type of action. These scenes really had me stressing, so all around this film did its job. Of course it had those generic elements, but it's a formulaic monster movie done right, with characters that you want to root for, and some that you're happy to see get killed. To me, this is one of the best Jurassic sequels ever. I am putting Jurassic World Rebirth in the blue tier. So with this tier list completed, let's go through my full ranking of all 7 of these movies. In last place is obviously Jurassic World Dominion. In 6th place, it's going to be Jurassic Park III. In 5th place, I have The Lost World. In 4th place, I have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Making the top 3 is Jurassic World Rebirth. My number 2 is Jurassic World 2015. And easily number 1, it'll always be Jurassic Park. So back to my original question, are there any Jurassic Park sequels that actually deserve to exist? This series does struggle with sequels, but when it does a soft reboot, that's when it works, like in 2015 with Jurassic World, or 2025 with Rebirth. The reboots that don't try to bring any of the past characters back, these actually work pretty well, but all the other sequels do not work very well. So I would say Jurassic World and Jurassic World Rebirth are the sequels that deserve to exist, in my opinion. But thank you for watching my ranking of all of the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies. Please leave your ranking in the comments section, and stick around if you want to watch a little 2-minute short film that I made while I'm on this island. See you next time.
Excuse me. Y'all don't know the fate that awaits you on this island.
What?
There have been dinosaurs swam up on shore.
What?
People have died.
No
You shouldn't be
way.
here. You shouldn't be here. You should get off this island. Why you have time?
This guy, bro. Bro, nah, that's not true, bro.
I ain't even joking. I done seen my kin get torn limb from limb. You need to get out of here while you're still alive. I only know I've been lucky this far, but I'm still scared out of my out of my shoes. Y'all need to get out of this town. Get off this island.
What? All right. You guys believe there's dinosaurs on the island?
Yeah, 100%. I've seen a bunch of crazy stuff around here. I definitely believe that.
Nah, it's just to scare kids away. What do you guys think? Should we go? Yeah, check it out.
No, this is scary.
What do you mean?
There's dinosaurs.
What? No, there's not.
Yes, there
Come on.
Alright, see y'all.
There's no dinosaurs here, bro. Wait, where are you going?